this document on a program called the Immaculate Constellation. Section 1 says Immaculate Constellation is an unacknowledged special access program established following the public disclosure of the ATIP OSAP programs by Luis Elizondo in 2017. Upon disclosure to Congress, it was determined that this USAP and its collateral information have not been lawfully reported to Congress. Immaculate Constellation's primary mission is collecting imagery intelligence on unidentified aerial phenomena in ARV/RV production vehicles, utilizing tasked and untasked U.S. military intelligence resources. As part of a network of SAPs linked to non-human intelligence and UAP technologies, Immaculate Constellation acts as a nexus for collecting, analyzing, and disseminating intelligence on the activities, capabilities, and locations of anomalous aerospace threats that originate from foreign or identified sources. I'm going to scroll up here to the introduction. The introduction says this document is the result of a multi-year internal investigation into the subjects of unidentified area anomalous phenomena, technologies of unknown origin, and non-human intelligence. This investigation was undertaken in response to urgent and credible threats to the public good and safety of the United States of America, and provided to Congress through the UAP whistleblower mechanisms established by the FY23 National Defense Authorization Act and the FY23 National Intelligence Authorization Act. The data consulted during this investigation and summarized in this report originate from non-public data held within the executive branch of the United States government. The author obtained access to this information while pursuing their lawful duties as an employee of the Department of Defense. The public version of the author's report was reviewed and approved for public release by the Department of State, Bureau of Global Public Affairs. Last thing on the introduction I'm going to read. The results of this investigation are deeply disturbing. Elements of the U.S. executive branch have conspired to prevent the U.S. legislative branch from exercising its lawful powers of governance with respect to the UAP, TUO, and non-human intelligence issues. The information provided by the author strongly suggests that the U.S. executive branch has been maintaining UAP, non-human intelligence issues without congressional knowledge, oversight, or authorization for some time, quite possibly decades. This criminal conspiracy keeps the elected government of the United States and its citizens ignorant to profound discoveries and dire threats originating from the existence of UAP and their technologies. So that's basically page 1 of this report, of this 11-page report. I'm gonna go to page 4 because while I was on Netflix looking at like UFO stuff, George Knapp had a whole series, but in one of these series, in the videos he showed was this video that's in this document, and that was the Northcom jellyfish UAP crossing U.S.-Mexico border. But at the time, I don't think we knew through in the documentary, we didn't know, I don't think the location of it, we just knew. But this goes on to explain that. It says, on USG networks, there exists FLIR footage of an irregularly shaped UAP flying across the southern border. The UAP appeared in FLIR to be modeled, irregularly, I've never heard that word, with hot cold emissions and approximated A jellyfish or floating brain with hanging appendages and appearance. The UAP flew against the wind with no visible means of propulsion, maintained an unnatural rigidity in its movements and flight path, and maintained a comparatively low altitude to geographic features. In appearance and behavior, footage of this UAP violating the airspace of the southern border resembled the same class of UAPs observed near DoD facilities in Iraq and Afghanistan. There exists at least one compilation video of this class of UAP, sourced from DoD Force Protection Assets and Theater ISR, which uses this footage as a point of comparison. Last page I'm going to go over in this document. What is this page going over? This page is going over common UAP / UFO shapes observed in the dataset. And this is not alarming, but it's like, whatever, anyway. From 1991 to 2022, the most common UAP shapes reported in this United States government dataset were spheres / orbs, discs, saucers, oval tic-tacs, triangles, boomerang, arrowhead. The triangle, boomerang, arrowhead shapes were by far the rarest, and spheres the most common. Variations of morphology within these categories are present, i.e. smooth spheres and spheres with protuberances, saucers without domes and saucers with domes. Okay, so then it just goes over that. And then it has like a table going over like spheres and orbs, the size, base signatures, colors, behaviors, biological effects, and it goes for, okay, maybe I'm not explaining this correctly, so we'll just skip to the conclusion of this document, which is a strong conclusion, I must say, W conclusion. The official disclosure of the existence of non-human intelligences and their presence on Earth is a pivotal moment in human history. The nature of this information is of such incomparable relevance to the public good that it demands to be shared. Some may object and say that disclosure at this time poses too many risks. To them, it must be said that we will never be able to predict how individuals, families, communities, and nations will react to revelations of such magnitude. Moving forward, we must guard against the lure of authoritarian solutions justified by expediency and appeals to national security. The good in humanity will always triumph through time, and it is in moments of crisis that our capacities for achieving the extraordinary are discovered. Be not afraid, something in Latin that I can't pronounce, but that is basically a watered down dog water review of this report. Your guys are more than welcome to check it out for yourself. I'm not gonna put the link, I'm not gonna put the link in the description, but the link is mace.house.gov/Immaculate Constellation, and you can go check it out for yourself. But with that being said, I thought this is interesting, and a lot of people have been thinking this is interesting, and now we're starting to go forward in the right direction as far as the conspiracy of UFOs and stuff. because now it's like no longer conspiracy, right? Clearly, I mean, with all this stuff I'm reading. But let me know your guys' thoughts. And yeah, I'll leave it off there. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys again in the next video.